Hello everyone, and welcome to GrenBC Investigates. I'm sure majority of you use either paper towels or hand dryers to dry your hands. And as some of you may notice, that air dryers state that they are cleaner than air. But is it truly cleaner than air? And what is the most cleanly option to dry your hands? Here's what the students and staff have to say about this topic.
I think they did it for less waste and to prevent vandalism.
I guess it's more environmentally friendly, instead of wasting all that paper, because people take advantage of the paper towels, obviously.
I think they're really loud and they're not as effective. I think paper towels are just a lot better at drying your hands.
In my opinion, I never use the hand dryers after seeing a TikTok video that showed me that hand dryers blow poop particles onto your hands, and it's more effective drying them like this instead of actually using the hand dryer. So in my opinion, they're not effective at all.
From the standpoint of the school, it's easier for them, but it's more convenient as a student to have the hand towels. It's easier to dry off your hands, so that's what I'd keep them with what they have right now. It's the most effective for them, so yeah.
I don't know, I feel like we could go back to we could have paper towels and the hand dryers, because I know some people do like them, but I personally think paper towels are just better.
I feel like I agree with Crystal. They should put both, just for people that have different preferences.
I feel like we should still keep the hand dryers instead of going back to paper towels, because it is helping the environment instead of wasting all the paper towels, because you know how people abuse their bathroom privileges and everything and clog the toilets up with that stuff. So it's not hurting anyone just drying your hands like this if you don't want to use the hand dryers, so just keep them.
As you can see, many students dislike the hand dryers based on its cleanliness, the germs it puts onto your hands, and the overall effectiveness. Though they do admit that the cost, environmental impact, and the impact it has on our restrooms leaves a positive impact on our school. But what does the staff have to say?
We were spending lots of money on all the hand towels a lot of them were just thrown in the garbage or into toilets. Broken towel dispensers were also an issue. So there's not much to clean on the hand dryers except for the surface, but that's not being touched, so it's just keeping the dust off the hand dryers. For the cleanliness of the bathrooms, there's no paper towels being thrown on the floor. It's a lot more efficient for the custodians to clean because they just have to wipe it down. They don't have to clean out the insides of all the paper towel dispensers. There's no waste of the paper towels. So hand dryers are easier to clean.
It really comes down to where are you getting the electricity to power those hand dryers, right? Because it's really easy to jump on board and say, well, if you're using paper, that is bad, right? But again, it's kind of a complicated issue because you have to ask yourself, where does that paper come from for your paper towels? Is it recycled? And if it is, then that kind of lessens the ecological footprint that's based on that. But then also you have to ask, how are you powering the air dryers? Because if we were, as a school, powered with solar panels, for example, well then from an environmental perspective, you'd be using clean energy to power that, right? But I don't think that that's necessarily the case. So as such, in Illinois, the primary source of a lot of our electricity is natural gas. And as you burn natural gas, well, it is a fossil fuel, and as such it releases carbon dioxide and a couple of other greenhouse gases as well. So from an environmental perspective, I don't think that there is a clear answer. You really have to look at the pros and cons of each. Now, if we were to transition to clean energy, I would say that the hand dryers would be better.
I believe that they are effective at drying. I don't think they're as effective at drying personally than compared to paper towels. My personal experience is I prefer paper over the air because I think they dry better. I think some of the newer ones have HEPA filters in them, and so that the air that they take in should be filtered before it comes out. But that all comes down to the model of hand dryer and if that filter is doing its job or if it's being replaced. So I think there's a lot of factors that might affect really how clean those things are. The data seems to be inconclusive, just in the sense that some studies show that hand dryers decrease the amount of bacteria or viruses that you'd find on people's hands. Some people have found findings that say the opposite, and when you compare them to paper towels, it seems conflicting. I think more studies are leaning towards paper towels actually being more hygienic than hand dryers. But once again, this is a really hard thing to control. You gotta think about, well, how dirty were people's hands? How good is their hand washing technique? What kind of soap did they use? Are the hand dryers the same models that they're comparing? Are they maintained? How clean are the bathrooms? Like, there's so many variables to take into consideration that it's really hard to get a true real life study of those things. But it seems like paper towels are a little bit more hygienic than air dryers.
In the study that Mr. Locke read, the most solid evidence pointed to the statistics of U.S. preferences. The study revealed that 62% of users choose paper towels as their preferred hand drying method, followed by hot air dryers at 28%. The article also concluded that the skin irritation and noise are all negatives for air dryers. In contrast to air dryer negatives, the most obvious negative of paper towels is the environmental impact. Another negative of paper towels is the cost, because paper towels must be replaced frequently, whereas air dryers usually require little maintenance, though air dryers can be costly to purchase and install. Though the students believe that the hand dryers mainly have negative results, besides the fact that it has a more clean impact on the restrooms, cost, and environmental impacts, the staff generally disagree on the environmental impacts and the germs it puts on your hands after washing them, because the data has too many variables to reach a conclusion. So this still begs the question, which is better? This was GrenBC Investigates. I'm Brooke Jurczyk, and I will see you all on the next episode of GrenBC Investigates. Thank you for watching.